The staff will greet you with a warm hello. It just, yeah, I mean, it feels when I go there, it feels almost like my second.
Hi, I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Comfort Life. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading retirement communities and care providers to uncover insights to community lifestyle, care, culture, and leadership. This includes insights from residents, family members, and administration. This is the Comfort Life Insider Perspective.
So my mom is extremely independent. My dad died, a few years ago, so she was living on her own. She's very physically fit, but she's 87. So when we first went to take a look at everything and meet Maria, who's wonderful, the administrator, I just assumed it would be for a quick little, visit and stuff. And mom put a deposit down that day. She loves it. I never would have expected her to become so social. I'll phone her and say, can I come over today and see you at 2:00? And she'll go, oh, sorry, there's this on, there's this activity. So she loves it. Now she's a big time walker. She walks everywhere, which she's still able to do with this location being where it is. So yeah, when she first moved in, thank goodness the nurse caught on that her blood pressure meds had not been updated for years. So yeah, other than having her blood pressure checked periodically, she does all of her own medications. She doesn't need any help with anything, but the help is there should she need it. My mom moved in the height of COVID. Yeah. So here was this new residence dealing with COVID, dealing with still being under construction. So what I have appreciated right from the beginning is that there is excellent communication with all of the staff. The staff are friendly, outgoing, always have a smile, always greet me. If I need any information, I can email anyone directly. It's just been a very seamless transition from mom living in her own condo to moving. It was just as easily done as it could have been. So of course, with COVID coming and easing, and so there were a lot of activities that were restricted. Even now, it's not full on open for every, there's still restrictions in place. But I know that mom, what I see mom enjoying the most, there's lots of physical fitness or, that kind of thing. There's a lot of physical well-being activities that go on. There's mental challenges to keep everybody's brain firing on all cylinders. I probably need that too. But there's all sorts of social interactions, whether it be word games, physical fitness activities. The new thing that's going on now are what I would call travel logs. That's from my generation, but there's lots of videos about different countries, different parts of the world, and that's accompanied by a native drink. So there's a little bit of that going on. And there's just, there have been a few outings with the shuttle, but that's really been curtailed with numbers and with COVID and everything. If you had told me a year ago that it would ever go this well, even during COVID, I'd say no way. Mom was always a very health conscious eater and everything, but she is eating way better. It's not just the availability of the food that she doesn't have to go out and grocery shop and prepare, but it's also the ingredients that they're using, the quality of the ingredients that they're using. It's all just top notch. So that's one improvement. I know her diet's better. can see that physically, she's always been very physically fit, but her posture's better. I can see she's got more strength and everything, I think, from the physical activities they're doing. So yeah, there's been a physical improvement, dietary, I would say, and just the social aspect of it. Yeah, she looks better. Even when she's visiting at the house here and I'm sending pictures, people say, oh my goodness, she looks wonderful. Yeah, I think there's the stressors are gone. The stressors of owning a home, the stressors of being responsible for everything. So that has got to help as well with your physical well-being. From the get-go, when Mom and I were first visiting and doing the paperwork and everything, Maria she went over everything very clearly and laid out what Mom's rights are as a resident, what Mom's rights are as a tenant. And Maria always imparted a real sense of caring, being involved. All of the staff members, it doesn't matter if I go on a Sunday, if I go on a Tuesday morning, whatever, the people who are there seem to genuinely want to be there. There's a lot of caring. They'll notice when Mom's not feeling 100%. So they seem genuinely invested in the well-being of the residents. So I would say the value, even the family that owns it, often there's a family member on site that you see. So you just get the sense it seems to be, people seem to be invested in it emotionally, as well as financially. They seem to be, the value system seems to have matched what my values would be as well. Yeah, I know many of the residents by name. Everybody seems happy when I'm there. Yeah, so and when my dad was ill, my mom and we looked at a bunch of different places, I'm saying a few years ago, and we never walked out with the same feeling that we both had right from the get-go with it. So when she was living on her own, now my husband and I kind of moved back to the area to keep an eye on family members. But even though she was only living 10 minutes away, I wasn't, I would have to physically go over more often. She was still driving then. The Arabella, she doesn't have to drive. She was still driving. There were concerns about that. I was concerned, there were sometimes confusion about debit cards, credit cards when she was out at a store or things like that I knew, and she agreed that were becoming more challenging. So with her being where she is, it's way less stress on me, way less stress on other family who live farther afield. If I don't see her every day, half the time she doesn't want me to come over because she's got too much going on anyway. But I don't feel the need to phone her every day, check in every day, or just those worries about the everyday mundane tasks that she doesn't have to do now, that somebody else does for her. So what I would like to say is, I think from the moment that somebody would walk in just for a tour or whatever, the colors are very calming. The decor is modern. It's not like what you think 20 years ago when you would go visit somebody in one of these places. There's none of that. It's modern. It's fresh. It's even the architecture. It's like you feel like you're in a condo in downtown Toronto. It's modern. The staff will greet you with a warm hello. It just, yeah, I mean, it feels, when I go there, it feels almost like my second home. When I walk in, I feel, sometimes I say to Mom, they have 2 bedrooms here, Mom. I could come and stay with you and have all these things too. But I think anybody making a decision with their parent or a sister or a brother to go into one of these, to the Arabella, I think that they would have no hesitation. They would be made to feel welcome and secure and confident right from the initial. Mom being mom, I knew right from the first visit we had, when things were under construction, she was very insistent on the location she wanted, the floor she wanted, the orientation to the sun she wanted. So she got everything she wanted. It's a beautiful 1-bedroom, fabulous, tons of closet space, tons of natural lighting. They all have balconies, whether people choose to avail themselves of using it, but they all have them, which means big sliding door. The bathrooms have wonderful grab bars, a security pull system, and mom's unit is quite large for herself, so it's good. And the flooring is like, nothing's dark, it's all bright colors. It's just fresh, and we had looked at lots of other places. So the Arabella just struck out as being brighter, more modern, tons of lighting from the dining room with all of the windows to the lobby. So my mother, we had toured places for my aunt, my father. So I was worried. I thought, is mom ever going to find a place when the time comes? And she was doing okay on her own. But largely with the Arabella, she got to watch it be constructed. The location for her, she can still walk to her bank. She can walk to the market. She can walk to the library. She can walk to a restaurant, a cafe. The location for her was a huge factor. And it's been seamless. Literally, she still is doing the exact same walking that she did before she moved. So the location for her was wonderful. Wow. And she overlooks the yacht club, the harbor. So, but the location of this place, the location of the Arabella, it's literally on our very famous walkable waterfront trail. It's a 5-minute walk from downtown. The farmers markets down there, cafes, bars, restaurants, shops, library. It's a very, if somebody is independent and likes to walk, there's endless opportunities. It's not on the outskirts of town. It's not, and the sidewalks where mom walks are maintained beautifully. It's a very walkable location for anybody who is still fit and wants to avail themselves of those opportunities. So the residence itself, I think, can accommodate about 125 residents. It's small by big city standards. I think it would be considered small. And that also appealed to us too. It's not a massive complex that's adjoined to maybe a unit that requires further care. Or when people are in this place, they feel like retirement age seniors. And it's small enough that everyone will know each other, but it's large enough that there's space where you can separate. You can go to the auditorium, you can go to the pool, you can go to the bistro. You're not under everybody's feet. So it's small to feel cozy, but large enough that it has all the amenities. Initially, I was thinking, oh my goodness, was mom ready for this? Could she have stayed another year or two on her own? So even up until a few weeks before she moved, I was saying to my sisters, oh, I hope it's going to work out. I was so worried about her. And then like literally the week before she moved, she had like a couple of minor issues with her car, the whole closing of her condo with the lawyer. So what I would say to people, when you feel the time is right, it's right. So thank goodness, like mom knew when it was time to go. I thought I thought I knew as well. My suggestion is when someone feels it's time to look at these places or thinks or has a discussion about moving, that's the right time. But seriously, if a family member is discussing it or open to discussing it or receptive to having a tour or going online and looking at things like this, that jump on it, like for sure. That's the time to start doing this. Diana, the director of care, is fabulous. I mean, she is the most caring, wonderful woman. But I would have to say, Maria, who I guess would be the administrator, if I've got the term right, she'll correct me if I'm wrong. But listen, she is the one who makes sure everything gets done, everything is running properly. So I know mom literally would feel comfortable going to any staff member with anything, but those two in particular. Oh, and the one cook, Lisa. Mom loves Lisa's meals. So yeah, there's a bunch of them. I mean, one thing that to me shows a lot of character in somebody, Maria also deals with guide dogs, a training, like, you know, from puppies, and she'll bring her dog into the Arabella, and they'll have like weekly meetings with the residents, and all tiptoe by, and there's Maria holding a meeting with everybody with her dog. So I'm thinking, here she's running this full-on retirement residence, but yet in her spare time, she's training up a dog. She's volunteering of her time that way. She's bringing him into work. It just to me shows somebody she's obviously just a well-rounded person who gives back. But some of the other things for me personally, oh yeah, like the cook one time overheard me talking to mom. Mom, wanted a little bit of a wine order for me to pick up at the LCBO, and because she sometimes likes wine with dinner. And the cook heard me say that to mom. She was just passing by, and she took us aside and said, Nell, anytime you want a drink with dinner, whatever, like, let us know. This is your home. You don't have. She didn't have to jump in and do that, but she just wanted mom to understand it's her home, that these things are available. Oh, and Kyle, oh my gosh, Kyle, the maintenance guy. Okay, Kyle, the maintenance guy. So Kyle's everywhere all the time. So a few weeks ago, they had like a Hawaiian, video about the history of the island, and they had Mai Tais. Of course, you have to have a Hawaiian drink, right? And Kyle, God love him, Kyle dressed up in a Hawaiian lei and a little grass skirt, and so the staff just want people to have fun, and that's kind of how it seems to be. They want people to live young. And even when I drop mom off, if she's been here, or if I'm going to pick her up, people know when she's gone. They know when there's eyes everywhere without making her feel like she's lost her independence. The COVID protocol in that place was like incredible. I mean, when mom first went in, she had to have COVID testing. Everybody, it's just, yeah, even when I go now, after all of these months, I'm still signing in. I'm still like, the protocol is there, and it's top notch, very clean as well, without being made to feel sterile. But it's, they've got it going on. If your parent or loved one is talking about this, and you have a gut sense in your heart that the time is right, you really have to pursue it. Don't sit on the fence. Don't procrastinate, because what happens with older people, on a Monday, everything's fine, and then on a Thursday, it's not. So my advice to people is really listen to your instincts, listen to your parent, listen to your loved one, and get it done. There's so many resources. Look at the resources that we're on right now. There's so many resources. Book a tour, phone them. As soon as they pick up the phone, you're going to know. You can tell the friendly nature of their voices. Don't hesitate. Jump while the iron's hot. Don't delay. Don't hesitate. Don't procrastinate. Because honestly, it's not as gut-wrenching as you might think it is. It's not as, a year ago when we were just beginning this process, I was so worried. Now I'm going, what a waste of energy, what a waste of time. I need not have worried. Well, so my one sister's in Ottawa, the other one's up by Owen Sound. And with COVID, they weren't visiting, so it was basically on my mom and on myself and my husband. And I mean, we kept them in touch, of course, but the good thing about my mother, which made it easier, she's very practical. So she also recognized that the time was right. So it was kind of, she and I came to the same conclusion at the same time, thank goodness. And then I never had the sense that I had to coerce her or convince her. It was like a mutually reached decision. And we had looked at other places with other family members. So we both realized, okay, we're going to jump at this because this does not come around all the time. So it was under construction. So all that we could avail ourselves was of we could go into like a trailer, for lack of a better word. And that's where Maria's office was. And that's where they had a mock-up of like the kitchen and what the decor would be and all the layouts. So we felt so comfortable with Maria when the Arabella was still under construction. We could not see a unit. We could not go in for months. But that's how at ease Maria made us feel about the whole process. That mom jumped on board right initially. I mean, she was probably one of the first ones to sign on the dotted line.
Oh, that's
and then, so mom did not see her unit. She was moving on like a Tuesday. We saw her unit on the Friday before. And that was fine. Maria, we could visit the trailer all the time. We could email, we could phone. Any question we had about construction, Maria answered us all the time. There was no hesitation. So that's how comfortable we were. It wasn't even completed. And mom committed. Mom sold her condo before it was even completed.
For more information about this community, you can visit their profile at comfortlife.ca.